A Catholic community in Minneapolis torn apart while students were coming together to celebrate Mass.
It was like right beside me. I was like 2 seats away from the stained glass windows. So they were like, the shots were like right next to me.
Families there now asking you to hug yours because they never will again.
Me and my friends were talking like this is like our version of 9/11.
While leaders are at a loss for words.
There are no words that can capture the horror and the evil of this unspeakable act. Children are dead. There are families that have a deceased child.
Right now on Currents News, the latest on the mass shooting in Minneapolis. I'm Christine Persichetti. We begin tonight with heartbreaking news from Minneapolis, Minnesota. During an early morning mass celebrating the beginning of the school year, a gunman opened fire, shooting through a Catholic church's windows, killing 2 young children and injuring others.
There are no words that can capture the horror and the evil of this unspeakable act. Children are dead.
The mayor of Minneapolis in the wake of a shooter's rampage at Annunciation Church.
A gunman approached on the outside, on the side of the building, and began firing a rifle through the church windows towards the children sitting in the pews at the Mass.
Police Chief Brian O'Hara says the suspect carried 3 guns, a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol.
This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping.
It was like right beside me. I was like 2 seats away from the stained glass windows. So they were like, the shots were like right next to me. The first one, I was like, what is that? I thought it was just something. Then when I heard it again, I just ran under the pew. And then I covered my head. My friend Victor saved me though, because he laid on top of me, but he got hit.
First responders found the gunman shortly after converging on the school.
The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church.
Chief O'Hara described the shooter as a man in his early 20s who does not have an extensive known criminal history, adding that it's still too early in the investigation to know if he was carrying those 3 guns legally or what his motive may have been. With over a dozen children and adults injured, some critically, there are fears the death toll may rise.
Every one of us needs to be wrapping our arms around these families, and the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary.
Pain that the mayor says needs more than words right now.
Me and my friends were talking like this is like our version of 9/11.
Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church.
Emotions are running high following news of this mass shooting in Minneapolis. Brooklyn Bishop Robert Brennan joins us now to help make sense of this tragedy. And Bishop, this one hits really close to home. Parents sending their kids to school assuming they'll be safe. They were sitting in church pews when the gunman opened fire. How do we make sense of this?
There are no words. There are no words. It's just, it's incredible. This is pure evil. It's sadness, like you say, it hits close to home. We're gearing up here to start up in the next week. It's part of that reality of violence that's so much part of our society. Anytime I hear of a shooting in a school or in any kind of those situations, it's heartbreaking. I guess we do feel a certain kinship because of a Catholic school and a parish school, but it's incomprehensible. Absolutely. We ask the Lord's help for those families who are struggling. We try to support and encourage one another. I think, we just have to be able to recognize, the gift of our children and keep encouraging them and supporting them and showing them how much we love them.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the third day of classes at Annunciation Catholic School. As you mentioned, Diocese of Brooklyn schools open a week from today, and many students will be attending Mass for the start of school. So how do you reassure parents that their kids will be safe? What do you say to parents as they're getting ready to send their kids to school?
Well, we're doing the best we can. Every school has its own plan. When somebody's outside shooting from the windows, I mean, you just can't understand. Each time you try to address one thing, you find somebody finding a way around it, right? It's just, it's incredible. One of the things that we have here is each parish, each school kind of has its own individual plan. It's based on the buildings that are there. And we're blessed by the New York City Police Department. And we have very good relationships. Our pastors, our principals, they have very good relationships. And so we're constantly getting good advice from them, good feedback. And they're part of who we are in our routines. So they're part of the family. That's a real gift. That helps along the way. There's when you bring it out into the streets, you're getting to a point where how much can you control? But thank God for the police department, and I know they'll respond, and they're going to give us some good plans as well. I think they look at this kind of a situation, and they're going to prove to be very, very helpful to us.
Absolutely. Thank God for the NYPD and all the people who work at the schools. Bishop Robert Brennan, thanks so much for being here. Catholic leaders around the country are also reacting to the tragedy. The Archdiocese of St. Paul, Minneapolis, is asking for prayers for all those affected by the shooting. News of the tragedy has also reached the Pope. He sent a telegram to the Archdiocese, imparting an apostolic blessing to the community and the people of the greater Twin Cities. Meanwhile, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops released this statement saying, as a church, we are following the tragic news from Annunciation School in Minneapolis with heartbreaking sadness. Whenever one part of the body of Christ is wounded, we feel the pain as if it were our very own children. Let us all beg the Lord for the protection and healing of the entire Annunciation family. For continuing coverage of the tragedy in Minneapolis, just go online to thetablet.org. The Diocese of Brooklyn is coming together for a student whose parent was killed in a shooting. His father was one of the victims of the Midtown shooting in late July. Now, as Currents News' Katie Vasquez reports, his journey back to the classroom is being helped by a guardian angel.
It'll be your new classroom for this year, your second grade class.
Rolandi Etienne is preparing for the new school year at Midwood Catholic Academy. But he's moving on to the second grade without his father, Alande Etienne.
I would like to say rest in peace to my dad because we have to stick together.
Alande went to work on July 28th at 345 Park Avenue, but never made it home.
I heard the alarm at my doorbell, and it was 2 police officers. And I asked them what happened. And they said the gunman came to his work and opened fire. Alan was one of the victims. My whole world was upside down.
Rachel and Alande were high school sweethearts in Haiti. They reconnected 20 years later and had Rolandi.
He said, we're gonna be together for worse and for happiness.
Rachel and Alande both attended Catholic schools in their native country and knew they wanted that same experience for their son. But with Alande gone, she worried about having to pay the tuition.
That will be the big, big, big relief. But now I'm become the mother and the father at the same time.
Then their Catholic community stepped up to help one of their own.
I think that's something that we do as Catholic really, really well. Is to be able to rally around the family, to live the gospel, and to serve our brothers and sisters in need.
I knew whatever was in our power, we were going to make it work that Rolandi can stay here. Rolandi has a lot of friends here.
They reached out to the organization Futures in Education, who offered to pay for a full year of tuition, $5,100, so that Rolandi can stay. a gift that Rachel is grateful for.
The only good things of parents could give to our children is a good education.
Futures in Education is exploring ways to help the family after this year. No matter what happens, though, this mother and son know they will have a guardian angel watching over them.
Rest in peace to my dad because he was my savior.
In Flatlands, Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
If you'd like to help, a GoFundMe has been set up for Alon's 4 children, including Rolandi. Just go to GoFundMe.com and search Support Alon Etienne Kids after the tragedy. To enroll your child in a Catholic school, just visit CatholicSchoolsBQ.org or call 718-965-7380 for more information. You can read more about Rolandi in this week's tablet, the paper diving deeper into how their parish and school community swept in to help a grieving mother and son. The tablet also reported on 2 newlyweds who were thanking their parish and pastor for playing Cupid. David Romaine and Nicole Noel met while they were a part of the Youth Leadership Ambassador Program founded by Father Dwayne Davis of St. Thomas Aquinas Parish. So be sure to pick up the paper at your local church. You can also support the tablet and Catholic journalism by becoming a member. You can do so by going online to thetablet.org/become-a-member. Finally tonight, a teenager's almost 15-year wait to find a forever home has come to an end. That's Cozy celebrating the moment his adoption was finalized with his new family. The teen was the longest waiting child in Arkansas foster care until Anna and Tim Dietrich stepped in, saying they felt a calling to be more than just his legal guardians.
The Lord made it very clear that we were supposed to all out adopt him. We're supposed to give him our name, give him our family, give him our whole hearts. The Lord was going to have to make it clear who is ours, and he's just made it abundantly clear. Cozy is ours.
First time we met with
Cozy is Anna and Tim's only child. Anna works with Project Zero, which promotes adoption through the Arkansas foster care system until the number of foster kids reaches 0. That is this Currents News update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. We leave you with a prayer for those grieving families in Minneapolis.